had to fend for herself as a young girl after being accused of deceiving her adoptive parents. Natalia Grace's terrible true story seems like a horror movie, but it's actually quite real. Numerous official documents confirm Natalia Grace's claimed birthplace and date of birth, notwithstanding the heated controversy surrounding her in the courts. Her birth certificate, extensive medical history, adoption records, and a statement from her biological mother, Anna Gava, relinquishing her rights as her legal mother all point to September 4, 2003, as the date of Natalia's birth in Ukraine. Gava, on the other hand, relocated to Ukraine after being born in Latvia in 1979. She was unable to give her daughter the high-quality, specialized care she required when she was identified with a rare disease that stunts her growth and causes her to be permanently short-statured. Along with other bone problems, people with this syndrome also seem young, even as they get older. Gava gave her daughter permission to be adopted in 2008, just before she reached 5 years old. The original American adoptive parents of Natalia Grace are somewhat absent from her narrative. Both the documentary series, The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, and the dramatized Hulu show Good American Family do not feature Diane and Gary Ciccone, since they declined to participate. The only thing the world knows about them is that they adopted Natalia, who was around 6 years old, around 2009 or so. However, the Ciccones wanted to give Natalia to another family, so they sought to abandon their parental rights less than 2 years later. The adoption agency had not informed him of Natalia's serious health problems or the associated costs, which was a major cause for anxiety. The couple realized they couldn't afford to continue caring for her after paying for one essential operation. Afterwards, they reportedly traveled to Florida to arrange an unlicensed adoption with Michael and Christine Barnett. The Barnetts assert that Good Shepherd Adoptions assisted them with the adoption, but the agency has denied any involvement, citing a lack of a license to operate in either the Barnetts' home state of Florida or the Ciccones' home state of New Hampshire. Feelings of excitement and emotion wash over us. Among the 5 best days of my life, that day stands alone, devoid of any other circumstance. The Barnetts claim that they began to observe concerning behavior after adopting Natalia Grace in 2010. According to Christine's account in the Daily Mail, she was dangling from moving vehicles. Blood was being spread on mirrors by her. Things a small child would never dream of doing were happening to her. Allegedly, threats and aggressive language were part of some of these terrifying occurrences. Christine related that she would express her desire to harm family members through drawings and remarks, then wrap them in a blanket and hide them in the backyard. Natalia apparently became physically aggressive during her outburst. Christine asserted that she once saw Natalia brutally attack a toddler while she was running her daycare business out of her house in Westfield, Indiana. After a particular occurrence, Christine made sure to safeguard all of the sharp things in their residence. She went on to say that Natalia attempted to force her mother into an electrified fence at a birthday celebration in 2012. A state mental institution that specialized in the treatment of aggressive conduct was committed to her by the Barnetts shortly after. It appeared like Natalia Grace was overlooked for more than just her reported violent behavior. Christine noticed signs that the girl appeared older than 6 months after she was adopted by the Barnetts. Christine told the Daily Mail that Natalia behaved like an adult, since she liked spending time with teens and didn't care about toys. Additionally, she asserted that Natalia was a big word-loving English speaker who couldn't grasp Ukrainian and couldn't remember her own nation of birth. Natalia may have been menstruating covertly, since she discovered blood-stained clothing in a trash bin. Because of all these factors, the couple thought Natalia wasn't a little girl. She's trying to keep her monthly cycle a secret. Natalia allegedly told her 2012 clinical therapist that she was 18 years old during one of their sessions. A full-grown imposter, according to bone density test results, and the opinion of the Barnett family doctor. She was 14 years old. As a result of this, the Barnetts petitioned the Marion County Superior Court to change her birth year from 2003 to 1989 in the birth records. Christine and Michael Barnett were able to help their adopted daughter, Natalia Grace, transition into independent living after they petitioned a judge to amend her formal birth year, and she was discharged from a mental health care institution. They relocated Natalia to an apartment in Westfield in 2013 after renting it, enrolled her in a state-run health insurance program, assisted her in obtaining an SSN and ID, and many government benefits. She also purchased furniture and a supply of canned supplies. Although Christine promised to cover Natalia's living expenses for a year, the law now considered her an adult and made her responsible for her own affairs. The flat was removed from Natalia's control after a few months as a result of her misbehavior. In the neighboring town of Lafayette, the Barnetts found another apartment and moved Natalia in. After that, Barnett uprooted her life to be near their biological son Jacob, who was a student in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, at the age of 21. Are you still planning to visit Lafayette? Yes, I was lost as to our destination. Unexpectedly, she abducted me. While Natalia Grace was a solitary resident of Lafayette from 2013 to 2014, a concerned neighbor put her in touch with Cynthia Mans. Antoine, Mans, and their huge foster family welcomed Natalia into their home. Despite allegations that Natalia exhibited aggressive behavior toward the Barnetts, the Manses failed to notice any such behavior. The Mans' infant daughter was apparently bit by her, though. On the curious case of Natalia Grace, Antoine clarified that Natalia posed no threat. Not at all. By 2023, Natalia had grown tired of living with the Mans and had accused her adoptive parents of forcibly keeping her. The Mans' financial stake in being Natalia's legal guardians was a further complicating factor. Foster care payments were the only source of income for the Mann family, according to a lawyer who worked with Michael Barnett. These payments helped defray the expense of caring for children and individuals with disabilities. In 2023, after Natalia departed from the Mans household, Christina reached out to her to inquire about the status of her charge's Social Security benefits. A $700 monthly welfare stipend had been sent directly to the Manses to Natalia since 2014, according to the research. In 2016, Antoine and Christina Mans sought to be appointed as guardians for Natalia Grace, and in June 2023, they adopted her. However, Natalia had already devised a strategy to escape by that December. Neighbors and friends of the family supposedly saw the violence, which included slapping children in rooms and using a belt as a weapon. Natalia declined to say whether or not those things happened, but she did say the Manses were controlling and wouldn't let her talk to anyone they didn't like. A couple named Nicole and Vince DePaul, who were both diagnosed with dwarfism, remained in contact with Natalia nevertheless. After Natalia's stay with the Cicciconis ended, and before the Barnetts were involved, they tried to adopt her in 2009. In December 2023, Mackenzie, Nicole's daughter, drove down from New York State to Nashville. Meanwhile, Natalia Fletter, who had told her siblings that she had joined them inside a church, accused her captors of waiting outside. After Mackenzie escorted her back to her ancestral home, she remained there for the rest of her life. Natalia pleaded with us to go and retrieve her. Even after moving in with a new adoptive family, Natalia Grace had a tremendous adjustment period. His dogged pursuit of custody regain seemed to be the primary obstacle to a happy ending at first. They were attempting to get Natalia back in at all times, as Nicole DePaul recounted to People magazine in 2025. Was simply this ongoing issue, balancing not accomplishing enough. You see, I didn't want to micromanage her because she recently left a household where a dictator presided. Although she has done other things, this was her lowest point. It was also said that Natalia acted strangely. Without the DePaul's knowledge, she secretly recorded them going about their everyday lives at their house at one time. After the crisis passed, Natalia sought out treatment to assist her deal with the aftereffects of her ordeal. Her reactive attachment disorder was diagnosed by a doctor. Those who have been through the adoption process or who have spent time in a group home may exhibit this behavioral disorder. The authorities took notice of the Barnetts' behavior long before they placed Natalia Grace in an apartment. Authorities looked into the family in 2012 for inconsistencies related to Natalia's foreign adoption on behalf of the Federal Bureau of Investigations and Immigration Authorities. Although federal officials were aware of the potential for immigration fraud and fraudulent age reporting beginning with Natalia's departure from Ukraine, they subsequently dropped the investigation under wraps. The Barnetts pleaded not guilty